Okie dokie. So, let's see what's going on over here, though. This is what my feed is full of on YouTube, so it's pissing me off. I don't need this shit. The devil sent to kill you has fallen in love with you. Duh. Who wouldn't? Really? These ones I like. If you're targeting God's people, your life and people close to you life are in danger. Okay, they're making fun of me because I don't give a shit. You know what the fuck I'm trying to say. The fucking typing the words and shit, they're so fucking close together that, you know, sometimes I'll press one right next to the other. You fucking know it. Or I might leave a S out, or I might leave a whole fucking word out, but you get what the fuck I'm saying, right? So make fun of it as if I don't know what the fuck I'm saying, or you don't know what the fuck I'm saying. Fuck you. Okay? Whoever the fuck is doing that shit. Archangel Michael says someone in your family lied and took something that was yours. Oh, gee, I wonder who it was. Shannon. Yeah, it was. God says, open now. Dark secrets in your family has been exposed. What? They're a bunch of fucking pedophile protectors and a bunch of thieves? Probably Indian money or something that I don't know about, that nobody told me about, or who knows what. Who the fuck knows? So anyways, let's just listen to this and see what we can find out.
Dug up emails that never existed, paid traders in crypto, and gave cowards a voice in return for silence. $1 million just to peel back the layers of a soul they never understood. They thought truth lived in files, in leaks, in stolen data. Fools. The real truth was carved into your scars, encrypted in pain, and whispered by demons that danced only for you. And now those demons are screaming in their ears every night. They said they wanted to know who you really are. So you let them. Not with explanations. Not with words. With storms. With silence that made their hearts collapse under the pressure of your presence. With the look in your eyes that turned boardrooms into funeral parlors. You didn't hide your truth. They just never had the strength to handle it. So when they unboxed your past, they didn't find dirt. They found depth. When they played your voice on loops, trying to dissect tone, what they heard was prophecy. And when they stared into the abyss of your psychology, it stared right back and started laughing in their own voice. They weren't just trying to expose you. They were trying to own you. Puppet strings, made of gossip, manipulation, dressed as concern, traps designed to provoke reactions you'd already evolved past. They wanted to clip your wings, label you volatile, unstable, broken.
Oh, they've already clipped my wings. I'm already unstable. What else could they do? I have no money, I have no children, I have no future, so it's like, what are you gonna do? Let's get high, right?
But you turned labels into tattoos, wore them like war paint. You didn't just escape their grip, you shattered the very hands that reached for you. They launched smear campaigns. You launched revolutions. They wrote essays. You wrote legacies.
If you can't take a good picture, then you need this AI app. Just snap a photo, then the app perfectly removes the back.
And every time they tried to bury you deeper, you took root and came back venomous. They tried to weaponize your past, forgetting that your past is your arsenal. They paraded.
Oh, my past? What's in my past? Hello, what's in my past? I had an abortion. Okay, so I deserve to be thrown in a fucking garbage bag and in the dumpster. Sell my fucking kill me now and sell my organs. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Because I'm going to go to the other side. I'm going to beat my mom's ass. I sure the fuck am. And then I'm going to do whatever the fuck to acquire whatever fucking power I have to acquire over here to get to that bitch right there and some other bitches. because I'm a mama bear. They took my babies, they lied to my babies, and I'll find each and every one of them. And I don't give a shit if they're guilty or not. If I think you're guilty, that's good enough for me. That's good enough for me because it's good enough for them. It's good enough for them to just go run their fucking mouths, tell my daughter that I prioritized drugs over her. No, I fucking didn't. No, I fucking didn't. She doesn't know shit. She wanted to be like me. Look at her. Look at how ugly she is. Look at how methed up she was. While I was in jail, sober, I didn't start using meth until 2016, 17, 15, whatever. So she's been using it since fucking 1998 or something like, no, 1997, 96. Look at that methed out bitch. And she's working as a CIA disguise agent. And you know how you can tell? Because look at all these motherfucking faces that can never look the same. She never looks the same. She always looks different. Look at this. There's this one. Does she look the same? No, she does not look the same. Hold on, you'll see it in a second. Here's another one. Does she look the same? No, she certainly does not look the same. No, she doesn't. Oh, excuse me, I gotta let my cat in. Do you see these pictures? These are all Jonna Mendez, Chief of Disguise Agent for the CIA. That is, I don't know who these two could possibly be, but that one right, excuse me, I'll get it for you, I'll show you. Oh my God. Oh yeah. Jesus fucking Christ. So this one right here is my sister Shannon. I can tell by the look in her motherfucking eyes, okay? I can tell by the way that she was looking at Value. I call him Value. His name is Patrick David. He has Valuetainment. I nicknamed him Value. That's my term for him. So when I say value, that's what I'm talking about. The show she was on, being the chief of disguise agent, thinking they could just flaunt her in front of me and I wouldn't get it. Got it, bitch. I had to see if my cat needed in. So anyways, she is a huge fucking meth head who worked from home most of the time. Her ex-husband must have been a racist because he did blackface at a Halloween party. It would have been about 1993, 1994. And I saw the picture and like everybody at that Halloween party had like Hollywood grade costumes on. I thought, like everybody that I seen in the picture, you know, I thought, wow, you know, but I didn't think much of it. I just thought, well, it's just, you know, my sister just knows people I don't know, and that's just, you know, whatever, you know, I didn't think anything about it. But then I watched this show, and I just see her, I see it's my sister's eyes. Now, Jonna Mendez, if that's not you, it's my sister, okay? It's my sister. She can never wear the same freaking thing. Look at this. This one won't let me erase that one. Let me get another one up here for you guys. Let's see. We've got this one here. We got that one there. We got another one over here. Let's see here. Yeah, that one don't look like her. That one don't look like her. That one definitely don't look like her. That one don't look like her. You know, I mean, this one don't look the same as that one because they're wearing a mask. Because they're wearing a mask, they can never get it on just right every single time. That is off. That is off. That is off. Yeah, they do a good job of kind of getting it there, but they're not so worried about, oh, is my sister going to come and look at every little fucking detail? Because I pay attention to detail, you fucking bitch. Shannon. Barnes, Shannon Marie Barnes. Is that where you guys got Jessica Marie Bailey? A fake fucking news story, a fake fucking person with fake charges. So that way you can tell my daughters that I abused them and that there's charges to go with it. I don't fucking think so. I've never been charged with child abuse. We had social services called on me all the time because Josh is a piece of shit that doesn't want to pay child support. So anyways, the only thing they ever said was that my children were well fucking rounded. That's the only thing that was ever said. So, you know, and that they were good. I was a good mom, you know. Even though I was using pills, I was still a good mom. When I was sick, I couldn't get off the fucking couch because I was so sick from the pills. But that's what the government wanted. That's what the government wanted. Who does she work for? She works for the government. Yeah. You know, and wouldn't. Oh my God, she's a fucking. I hope she goes to jail. But you know what? They won't, because this is Earth. This is Earth. Assholes, pedophiles, rapists. They get away with shit. You know? I mean, you can murder an innocent prostitute. You're gonna get away with it. You can murder me. You're gonna get away with it. But, you know, don't murder somebody with money or with somebody who has a family that cares, because then you won't get away with it. But marginalized people all day long, apparently that's how it works. That's how it works. Well, at least that's how it works here in Marshalltown. That's what Danny says. You know? And, what else is going on here? I don't fucking know. But, well, I better not say it, but I certainly am thinking it, and I certainly do hope, and I certainly don't give a shit. You know? I certainly do hope. I certainly do hope. I hope that for her. I hope that for her daughter. I hope that for her grandchild. I hope that for whoever she fucking has in her life that keeps her feeling like she's fucking okay, because she sure in the fuck is not okay. She's a thief, she's a liar, she took my fucking daughter and put her name on my daughter's birth certificate because I went to jail for a year and a half. You think that's fucking necessary? I haven't seen or talked to my daughter since. And my daughter went to my sister, who I had no fucking problem with. We had no fucking problems. What was the fucking problem? I'm a killer. It's a song by Eminem. I don't know what the fucking name is. And I don't give a shit. Snoop Dogg, kill me. Send somebody to kill me. I'm standing strong. If any of you that I hear sat there and witnessed the abuse, knew about the abuse, and you just didn't do anything because you didn't even try to help a kid. You still hung out with them. You didn't warn the public. You didn't put it in a fucking rap song like stay the fuck away from that fucking ditty, whatever the fuck. You could have made something up, but you fucking didn't. So here we are jamming out the fucking rapists and pedophiles music. I don't give a shit if the shit's satanic coming from the devil. I don't give a fuck about that. What I give a fuck is it's fucking pedophiles, rapists that are raping children, sodomizing children. I didn't hear that part of the song when I posted it, the What is Beef. It's got a freaking dope ass fucking beat, and the words were like, yeah, you know, what is beef? Beef is when you need 2 pills to go to sleep. What the fuck ever. No, I'm not a badass, but I wish I was, so shit like this wouldn't be fucking happening to me. But anyways, so no, Snoop Dogg, I do not take back anything that I say. You are not gangster. You're not gangster at all. If you were gangster, you would not have associated with the pedophiles and the rapists. You have a family, you have a wife that you love. Why you don't see your wife and or your children in other people, that doesn't make sense to me. When I see a human, I see myself. When I see somebody, I don't care what color they are, I see myself, so I don't want to treat them some way that I wouldn't want to be treated. I don't know, is that fucking weird? Because I'm from Iowa. Probably fucking weird. But I don't give a shit. I'm not backing down on that. You're not fucking gangsters. Gangsters take care of women. Gangsters take care of their community. Gangsters are actually some of the best leaders because they're down to earth. And they don't care about like the stupid shit. They care about the shit that matters. Family, respect, community. You know? Oh, is that the cat fucking up? Is that the cat fucking up? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought the cat. Were you yelling at the cat? I was yelling at Snoop Dogg. Because I heard your little fucking video, because you see me reposted, just so you know that, yeah, I hear it, and I'm not fucking intimidated by it. Oh, just wait until you've been isolated for all those years, and you don't have anybody, and you have no money, and you're standing up against the Illuminati and the witches and the warlocks. See how gangster you are then. Like a idiot. I'm not trying to be gangster. If I was trying to be gangster, you wouldn't hear curse words come out of my mouth. I'd go to church dressed up nice on Sundays, and maybe Wednesdays too. What, Danny?
What's that smell?
Oh, just the sage.
Yeah, that's cool.
I like to light it before I get on the video. So, you know, killing innocent people for their shit, Sammy the Bull. Yeah, I liked your stories and stuff, but no, I don't like you anymore, because it seems like what's happening to me is exactly what Sammy the Bull used to do up there in his little construction business. You know, befriend people, kill them, then take over their business. Disgusting. Why can't you just get what's yours and leave what's not yours to the people whose it is? Why do you have to have everything? Why do you have to have everything? Why do you have to hurt people? Why do you have to hurt children? Why do you have to hurt families? Why do you have to hurt mothers? Why do you have to hurt wives? You think when you take a husband away from a wife or a family that you're fucking justified because you're filling your fucking pockets? You're all fucking disgusting to me. That's why I hate this world, and that's why I'd have no problem unaliving myself, except for the fact that I have the hardest fucking time unaliving myself. And it's not for lack of trying. And don't think that I need anybody to feel sorry for me or anything. I hate this fucking planet. I don't like anything on it except for I used to like my daughters. Now it's like I can't. I can't. Why? So my stomach and my heart can hurt and break? No, I'll just hate them because they're liars. And they're demonic and they're possessed and they're not mine anymore. So who cares, right? Thanks to that bitch right there being a fucking selfish, greedy fucking whore like you, Sammy. Fucking coming in here trying to like scare me and shit, and then tell me, no, I just wanted you to notice me. That's why I made a video of me using your sound, so then you would see my face, and then I'd just be like, you know, hi, see if you can you talk to people through pictures? I do all the time. So I have special powers, you know. I'm the fucking chosen one. That doesn't mean shit. It doesn't mean shit. It just means you're unlucky. It doesn't mean you have some special light. It doesn't mean you vibrate at a higher level than other people. It just means that other people are going to take advantage of you. People like this bitch. People like Sammy the Bull. People like P. Diddy. People like Jay-Z and Beyonce and all them. Like, they're just going to take advantage of people. Like, when they see my daughter, you know, trying to come up and think that, you know, it's all cool and kosher. There ain't nothing kosher about Hollywood. There ain't nothing kosher about the fucking entertainment business. Kitty, you have to stay in here. You cannot go out there. He's sick, and you need to leave him alone. So you go to bed right now. Go to bed. Go to bed right now. Go to bed. You've been out there. You ate. I know you've been to the bathroom. Go to the bathroom in here. I'll clean it up. I always do. If you do anyways, I clean it up. Because I fucking clean shit up. I'm not lazy. I know how to fucking work. I know how to do fucking laundry. I know how to do dishes. I don't like to do dishes. Therefore, I use the minimal dishes as fucking possible. Just because someone else doesn't mean it's my dishes. But go ahead and say they're mine and I did it all. I don't give a shit. You're talking to a fucking slut who will go and sleep with her best friend's husband and break up a fucking family. You think I have respect for that type of shit? No, I don't. Because I fucking am... I am like how you should be if you want the world to be a better place. But you're turning me into a fucking monster. But I'm going to control this monster. And then we'll see what happens. Kitty, you're going to turn me into a monster right now. And I'm going to sacrifice you to the gods. For a bologna sandwich, and I don't care if they put mayonnaise on it. So go away. That's how I talk to my cat now. Because of you guys. Yep. I bet I was molested when I was 2 on purpose too, wasn't I, Jordan Peterson? Wasn't I, Mr. What's your name, Dr. Phil? Because I know you're watching Dr. Phil. I'm not fucking stupid. I can see the fucking algorithm, and I can tell that you guys just want to get me to watch something so you can see my reaction. Well, it's not going to happen. I'm going to sit here and watch myself, so nobody will watch. Nobody cares. I already know that. Don't you think I can watch my own shit and see that there's really nothing that's like... Whoa, oh, what's that? Oh, I gotta watch that. No, I get it. I enjoy myself. Yes, I don't need anybody ever for nothing ever except for I have to get money somehow. I don't know how to make it out of a tree. I don't know how to print it. I don't know how to do all the thingies. I don't know how to do it. And I don't know. Oh, I guess there is like trading, like trading goods for goods. Like, but I don't have to come up with goods. You usually come up with goods because you have the money to buy the goods. But what else could we do? We gotta think of something because they're gonna fucking nuke this place. They're killing us. That's obvious. When one in... Oh my God, I'm gonna kill this guy. I'm gonna kill this guy. When one out of every 44 children born, is that real? Because that seems out of this fucking world. Did you just take my fucking shit? Oh, it's right here. So anyways, what was this motherfucker saying?
Your pain like a trophy, hoping the world would recoil. But the world didn't flinch. It listened. It watched. And it began to understand that you weren't the villain of your story. You were the aftermath. The final chapter they didn't have the ink to write. Every shadow they tried to expose only made your light sharper, more blinding. And now, those shadows live with them, sleep beside them, whisper in their ears. Because you didn't just survive the fire, you became it. They bought information. You built intuition. They read your messages. You decoded their souls. They had spreadsheets. You had strategies. They thought unveiling your secrets would unmake you, but all they did was reveal their own cowardice, broadcasted it under the disguise of curiosity. Because what they feared most wasn't what they'd find. It was the you who would rise after they looked. And you did rise, unapologetic, unfiltered, unkillable. You didn't retaliate with lawsuits or scandals. You retaliated with presence. You walked into rooms they tried to lock you out of, and you didn't knock. You took over. You didn't argue with their slander. You let it echo in empty chambers while you built empires on the outskirts of their noise. You didn't explain yourself to the liars. They weren't worthy of your truth. You simply evolved in ways they never predicted. And that's when they began to panic. Because the more they uncovered, the less they understood. You weren't hiding skeletons. You were dancing with them. You weren't running from shame. You weaponized it. They expected a breakdown. Instead, they got a blueprint for domination. And now, the same hands that signed off $1 million witch hunt are trembling, unsure whether to offer you peace or pray for distance. But it's too late for both. You've seen what they're...
You better offer me a piece of what is mine anyways. Cat, I'm gonna fucking fuck you up. Sorry, it's water. I'm gonna fuck him up with water.
willing to do in the name of exposure. And now, you're willing to show them what you can do in the name of reckoning. They thought you were naive, thought you didn't know the cameras were rolling, thought you didn't see the microphones planted, the double agents smiling with poisoned words. But you did. You let it happen.
I didn't see no fucking microphone. I didn't see no fucking camera. I looked all over this bitch for that shit because I could feel it. They don't need cameras. They don't need microphones. It's in the TV. It's in the fucking phone. If you don't think the TVs haven't had cameras and microphones in them, even if it doesn't say they do, yes, they do. Okay, I'm schizophrenic. Okay, good. Just believe that. I don't give a shit. You put a TV in your kid's room and you think some rich motherfucker's not sitting there watching your kids get dressed and getting off on it? You know, what you don't know don't hurt you, right? That's the world we live in.
You baited them with fragments, misled them with half-truths, and while they scrambled for answers, you rewrote the questions. You weren't just 10 steps ahead, you were on a different board. And every pawn they moved was already accounted for in your chaos theory. Because this wasn't about damage control. This was about design. See, while they spent fortunes to dissect your past, you invested silence into your future.
Don't worry, it wasn't their money. It was just the taxpayers' money. So don't even worry about it, Democrats. I know you Democrats aren't worried about it. You don't give a shit. You don't give a shit that there's actually hungry, cold, starving people out there that didn't have to be that way, that are only that way so that way your stupid slush funds don't get found out. It's fucked up. And like I said, if you're targeting God's people, your life and people close to you in life are in danger. And it's not me, because I'm not a violent person. Because I was defending myself and Josh said that I bit him first, really. I just went up and bit him on his chest. Meanwhile, my fucking hair and I have a fucking bruise. I could have fucking got out of that charge because I had bruises on me the next day. However, I wanted out of jail because I had babies I wanted to get home to. Josh, on the other hand, doesn't think about shit like that because he spent years away from his. No phone call, no can I see him, I miss him, I want to see him, how are they doing, can I go to a school teacher conference because I'm cool. I know how to co-parent. He's a fucking retard. So like her, all that is the same shit. I don't give a shit who she is. She's all a bunch of different people. She ain't the fucking same. That right there down here, this right here is my sister. This right here is my sister. I don't know who the fuck that is, and I don't give a shit. That too might be my sister. But, maybe her meth usage made her a little sloppy when she did her masks. Because I'm sure the people that put on her masks were people that, she was kosher with. And I'm sure she could only be kosher with people that did meth, which I did not use meth. So therefore, she could not be kosher with me because the only thing I would do was smoke pot. And that was away from my children, except for that one time when Elena was 13, when Ron said out loud that I go and smoke pot all the time. And I know my 13-year-old's not a fucking retard. She went through DARE. She knows So I had to tell her that marijuana is not reefer fucking madness. It's no big deal. It's not for children. It's not for teenagers. It's for over the age of 21, which I was, and I use it responsibly. I don't get crazy. I don't get stupid. And I was going to show her, look, I'm going to smoke it and nothing's going to change. All that's going to happen is I'm going to calm down and I'm going to feel more like I can just, okay, like without the marijuana, it's like, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this and this and this and this and this. When I smoked the marijuana, it was like, okay, so I got to do this, and then I'll do that, and then I can do this, and then I can do that. And if you think that's fucked up, then you're fucked up. You can go eat a dick, because I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. I have my own sense of what is morale, what is upstanding, what is, despicable. I don't think pot is despicable. I think raping children is despicable. I think the fact that Biggie Smalls sang in a fucking rap song that'll kidnap your kids, rape them, fuck them in the ass, and throw them in the river, and he just gets away with saying it because it's their Illuminati thing that they have to tell us. They have to tell us. Now, whether we believe it or think it's a joke or the print's too small to see, or we don't get what we're looking at when we're looking at it, that's our problem, right? Well, hopefully one day it'll be their fucking problem. But who really gives a shit about this earth? Because I don't give a shit about this earth. This earth is going to turn to Mars. It's going to be desolate. These people are going to be stuck in it, more than likely, in a pit of hell, So, anyway, suicide watchers, yeah, they don't go to heaven. Suicide watchers do not get to, no, they get to suffer. It goes black. I heard that. My mom, when she died, I don't think she was a suicide watcher, because now later in her life, yes, she wanted me to kill myself. But earlier in her life, when she died, I don't know how old she was, but she died at the hospital. She said she remembers being over her body, just looking at her body, that she was in such peace. It was so peaceful. It's like a peaceful that you can't even describe. She says she didn't want to come back. Isn't that nice? She had children, me, and who cares who would come back to that and who would come back to that other one. But me, she could have came back to me. Yeah. But she didn't want to. That's why her ashes got thrown in the fucking toilet. Because she didn't give a shit about me. So I'm not going to give a shit about her. Yeah, I miss her. Yeah, I love her. But I don't give a shit about her or what happens to her anymore, because she deserves the fiery hell that she gets to burn in for what she did to me, when she could have fucking helped me, and she didn't. She chose not to. I would have never done to my kids what any of these people did to my kids. What she did to my daughter's fucked up. I'll fuck her daughter up for fucking my daughter up. That's the kind of person I am. Yeah. I'll take your fucking daughter to Biggie Smalls. How about that? Oh, wait, he's dead. Can't go to Diddy. Can't go to Epstein. I'm sure there's going to be somebody out there that's going to replace all that, because, this kind of world it's just what they like. It's fucking disgusting. She's a fucking certified pedophile protector. Oh, and she got molested by Gary Lee Scott. Charges were pressed. He had to go to jail, and it's written in his record. My sister's age and the charge is there. Not her name or anything. But he pled guilty to her and didn't get charged with me, Jerry, or Dawn? How do you think that makes me feel? So anyways, it was within the statute of limitations when I was 17 years old and I wanted to press charges. I was 17 or 18, and I asked my cousin Dawn, since she witnessed it and was old enough to say what she saw, and she said no, she didn't want to mess with it. Shannon was old enough to say what she saw, and she saw it, and she didn't want to revisit it. Okay, so this guy's a high risk to offend again, did offend again, and I caught him in a fucking elementary school passing out flyers because this bitch didn't want to go to court with me and serve as my witness to put this fucker behind bars for what he did to me and my sister Jerry and my cousin Dawn, because he already did time for Shannon, but apparently Shannon liked it. So he didn't need to go to jail for that. She liked it. Sick fucking bitch. But anyways, I didn't. I disassociated, and I know I disassociated. I know. You want to know how I know is because it was so easy for me to disassociate after I got physically assaulted here the way I was physically assaulted here. But nobody recognizes disassociation in my family except for Jordan when she smiles about her fucking little lies. Oh, somebody needs to do something about research your guys' parents because y'all are fucked up. She's like, they beat us like dogs. Like, yeah. Oh, that's disassociation. That's not disassociation, bitch. I know what disassociation disorder looks like. It's like multiple personality. It's like schizophrenia. It is not smiling for a brief second. Fucking dumb cunt. Some stupid bitch on TikTok. All these stupid fucks, you know, they're just little fucking demon minions. I hope they like their gift cards. Danny gave me one of his gift cards one time. I bought something with it too. What did I buy with it? I can't remember. I think I bought, what did I buy with it? Did I buy, what was that thing called? A B8, a B2, B8, BB, I don't know. Some Star Wars cool ass shit that I shouldn't have fucking traded. I wanted to trade it for a desk because I wanted to write. I was gonna like write a book or do astrology and write reports, you know? But I can't keep focus. Like I just can't. It just doesn't work. It just don't work. You know, their demon spells that they say didn't work against me. Yeah, the fuck they did. Yeah, they did. And they're gonna get their karma because I'm gonna die, and I'm not afraid to die, and I understand a lot more than they understand. And if I don't, well, I don't know. All I know is that I'm a special fucking person. Because otherwise I'd be dead by now. Or maybe I'd be out in the streets prostituting myself for drugs, but I'm not, and I don't, because I never have, and I never will, because I'm not like that. That's not who I am. Maybe that's who Jamie is, maybe that's who Josh is, maybe that's who Shannon is, but that's not who I am. You know, anything they say about me is a reflection of themselves, because it sure in the fuck is not me. I'll tell you who I am. I'm not perfect. I'm mean, but I'm nice. I'm only mean when you're mean to me. I'm only mean when you try to gaslight me and tell me stupid shit like, oh, you're going to be a billionaire. Oh, someone's coming to save you. They're going to come pick you up. You're going to move. Oh, something's going to happen and things are going to be better. Fuck off. Fuck off. And fuck off again. This has happened so many fucking times since 2015. I'm like, oh, they're going to find the truth. They're going to get the truth. They're going to get the truth about Donald Trump. Not bad, but the truth that Donald Trump was not bad, that the Democrats are a bunch of fucking retards, corrupt. And then somehow, you know, when they figure that out, they'll figure out that little old me was being, you know, tortured and abused and mentally, physically, emotionally, and ignored by the people who were supposed to help me, be it my mom, be it my family, be it a friend, be it the women's violence fucking bullshit. Yeah. And then their paid fucking attorney for me when I was signing up for Social Security. Why shouldn't I get Social Security? Aren't I fucking crazy? You see, I'm not living in reality. See, I'm sitting here saying that this is my sister, and look, it's obviously they don't look the same. But wait a minute, she's in a chief of disguise agent. Maybe she's wearing a mask. Oh, but why would she be wearing a mask? She's the fucking chief of disguise agent, you retards. She has to put herself out in front of me. So anyways, you know, I always look up to people. Like, I think, like, I look up to Jocko. I still do look up to Jordan Peterson, even though he just bugs me because I know he just watches and he just watches and then he goes and speaks on it, gets wisdom from my fucking experience and makes money from my experience and then doesn't even offer me anything. Fuck him. I know Jocko does the same thing, but at least he fucking tries. He doesn't just mock me. Maybe he should. But anyways, I just know that one day it'll be my turn. And if I have to wait till I get to the other side, I'm so fucking grateful. I'll be forever indebted to 607 UNC for saying don't go to the light, because that makes perfect fucking sense. Don't go to the light, because that's how you get recycled and put right back into this fucking place where you have to pay rent and you have to pay taxes and you have to go to school and you have to go to work and everybody hates you and for nothing. So yeah, like, I want to be here, right? I miss my grandpa. He was probably the only one that liked me. Probably because he could fucking relate to me.
You let them drown in obsession while you walked through fire, unbothered. They thought their intel would be your end. Instead, it became your intro. The moment the world turned to watch what they'd exposed, it witnessed something else, something terrifying, something beautiful. The rise of a mind sculpted by betrayal and precision. And you didn't just rise quietly, you erupted. Now their hands are blistered from the truth they tried to hold. Now their networks are haunted by the very data they collected. Because every piece of your past they unearthed became a mirror, and they saw themselves in it. And they didn't like what stared back. Because this wasn't about you being guilty. This was about them needing you to be guilty, to justify their own decay. But when the smoke cleared, all they had were burnt files and broken egos. And now, they're begging you to stop. But not because you're violent, not because you're ruthless. They're begging because you're brilliant. Because their entire machine, their entire operation, collapsed under the weight of your poise. You didn't scream. You didn't threaten.
Did you hear that, Donald Trump? Did you hear that, Elon Musk? Did you hear that, Tate Brothers? Fuck them. Fuck them. They're going to get what's coming to them. I'm going to make sure they get what's coming to them, because why was I given the message from ISIS? Wasn't I being invited to cross the threshold of the magician's abode unharmed? And didn't I face the trials of air, the trials of fire, still facing the trials of water and the trials of earth? Yep, I did. Yep, I did. And those are the ones she loves. And her, that I aspire to be, with no feeling, will have no pity on any of that. Any of this, any of that, any of it. Unless you're a good person, then I like you. And then I don't want anything bad to happen to you. And I wanted to tell you, thank you guys for that Messiah song, because I love it. And I'm sure there's a lot of Messiahs out there that have made it that love that song. Because you're right, our way is better. Our way is a lot better. And I don't say I search the world till my head hurts. I say I search the world till my head spins, because I like when my head spins. It's kind of fun. Moving on. Come on, Joker. What's up?
You simply exposed the fact that they never had power. They just had platforms. And platforms crumble when the truth echoes louder than the lies they're built on. You weren't supposed to survive their spotlight. You were supposed to melt under scrutiny. But instead, you turned their light into a lens and made the whole world look deeper. And what they saw wasn't a criminal, wasn't a monster, wasn't a freak. They saw the system they'd learned to fear, the anomaly, the glitch, the one who walked through hell with receipts and came back selling fire. They can't delete you, can't suppress you, can't decode you, because you're not a file, you're a force. So now, they gather in boardrooms not to plan your downfall, but to negotiate your silence. They offer apologies dipped in arrogance, proposals wrapped in threats, but nothing works, because they made one fatal mistake. They gave you the spotlight and forgot you were born in darkness. Not the cinematic kind, not the romanticized struggle wrapped in violin music. No, the kind of darkness that breathes, that memorizes betrayal, that sharpens every breath into a blade. The kind that teaches you how to walk without making a sound, until your silence becomes the loudest scream they've ever heard. That's what they unleashed. Not just a person, but a phenomenon engineered in shadow, tempered in patience, and now unleashed without mercy. They assumed exposure would fracture you, that revelation would reduce you. But they failed to grasp one thing. Secrets only hurt when they're shameful. And you turned shame into sculpture, into architecture, into a throne they can't look at without remembering what they tried to destroy. The irony? They wanted the world to judge you, but instead, the world started judging them. Their motives, their methods, their sudden obsession with tearing apart someone they once pretended didn't exist. See, the real story isn't about what they uncovered. It's about why they needed to uncover it in the first place. You became an obsession not because of guilt, but because of unpredictability. You were untamed, uncontrolled, unapologetic. And in their world, anyone who doesn't bow is branded dangerous. So they thought, let's make an example out of you. But what they didn't calculate was that you weren't an example. You were the exception, and exceptions rewrite the rules. Their plan didn't just backfire, it detonated in their hands. Every dossier they compiled became a monument to their desperation. Every whisper they tried to circulate became a trumpet call that backfired. They used money as a weapon. You used your history as a war crime. And now, they're standing knee-deep in the ashes of their own strategy, trying to convince the world they were only trying to protect it. But no one buys that lie anymore. The curtain's been pulled. The stage is empty. And all eyes are on the only character who never flinched when the truth walked in. And while they fumble with statements, with PR shields, with carefully worded press releases.
What about Shannon's meth use? What about Jonna Mendez, the CIA worker who says you can't smoke pot for like 3 years or something if you're going to work for the FBI? Maybe never at all. But this bitch is on meth? Come on now.
You walk unarmored through the wreckage. They tried to make you the headline, and you became the author. You didn't just take back the narrative, you obliterated theirs. Not with drama, with clarity, with presence so raw and unedited, it stripped their illusions bare. You didn't come for sympathy. You came for equilibrium. And now, the balance has shifted. There's panic in their cadence now. The confidence is fractured. Behind their doors, they whisper your name like it's an incantation. Not out of reverence, out of fear. Because they know you're no longer reactive. You're strategic. You're not shouting anymore. You're observing. Not because you're done, but because you're planning. And nothing frightens manipulators more than the silence of someone they can no longer predict. They underestimated your resilience, mistook stillness for submission. They didn't realize that while they were busy unraveling your timeline, you were mapping out their psychology, watching their moves, clocking their tactics, calculating. You've seen their tells. You've read the panic behind the smirks. You know exactly where they're weakest, because while they were obsessed with your past, you became a master of their present. They still don't understand what they triggered. This isn't vengeance. It's revelation. You're not returning fire. You're pulling the curtain back on a system that's rotted from the inside out. And they're terrified, because this time, there's no enemy to frame. No easy scapegoat. Just the cold, surgical exposure of who they truly are. The manipulation, the coercion, the manufactured narratives, and worst of all, the fear that none of it worked. And now, they retreat into technicalities. Try to negotiate with smoke. Offer you windows they previously sealed shut. They talk of peace, like they didn't already burn the treaty. They offer you sanitized versions of reality, hoping you'll play along. But you don't play anymore. You design, you disrupt, you dismantle. You don't want revenge, you want justice, and not the courtroom kind. The kind that leaves reputations in ruins and the truth etched into memory. They wonder why you haven't retaliated the way they expected. Why you haven't launched your own attacks. It's because they still think in terms of power, but you think in terms of impact. You don't want them destroyed. You want them remembered. Remembered not as architects of your downfall, but as footnotes in your awakening. You don't
As the losers that they are. Because if you can't just be yourself, if everything you do, you have to do behind closed doors because everything you do is fucked up and against an innocent person in order for you to gain recognition, money, whatever the fuck it is, anyways, the devil will be coming for each one of your souls because he's certain the fuck ain't coming for mine. And it doesn't matter how many times Danny calls me a narcissist, doesn't make me a narcissist. Doesn't matter how many times Danny calls me a fucking block slut. I don't have sex with anybody, and I haven't had sex in years, and I won't have sex for many, many, many more years, thanks to my daughter now being a fucking prostitute, fucking OnlyFans slut. I don't give a shit. I don't fucking sugarcoat shit. I know what she's looked at like a piece of fucking meat, and she needs to know it. And she needs to understand it harshly so she can understand that that's exactly how harshly they judge her. Of course, they're going to be nicey nice to your face and tell you how pretty you are and oh, you're so special and oh, yeah, really? Oh, your mom was like that. Oh, you poor baby. Let me give you the attention that your daddy never did. And then stick his penis in your vagina and your ass apparently too. Oh, and your mouth too. Oh, and you let him fucking come in your mouth. Wow, Abby. No, I am your mother. You put it out there. You put it out there first. And then you wouldn't talk to me behind closed doors. So, Abby, yeah, we really need to talk. We need to talk about your behavior. We need to talk about your future now. What's it going to look like? I'm starting to think with everything that's going on, maybe kids isn't the best thing to have on this planet. So maybe, but you don't need to be taking no birth control. You need to be abstinent because birth control is going to give you cancer, every fucking medicine. Oh God, it drives me fucking nuts. No, I'll raise my children how I see fit. and I'm still raising them as far as I'm concerned, whether I'm doing it from afar and they can't hear me and they don't listen. I don't give a shit. The 100th Monkey Project, it's in the ether. It'll fucking attach. It'll figure itself out. I'm their fucking mother who fucking loves them more than anything in the fucking world. Literally. That's all I fucking know. I was 15, I got pregnant, I was a mom, and I was committed to being a mom. And that's it. So anyways, yeah, it's also, this is a funny fucking story, not really that fucking funny. It's actually quite questionable, because when I was in Carlisle, I followed the pedophile that molested me and my sisters, except for he didn't molest that one. He just had consensual intercourse with her. I don't care how old she was, it was consensual. She wanted it. She's a slut. So, and she's a fucking weird demon fucking weirdo. So, yeah, she's a fucking weirdo who steals from her sister and lies on her sister, steals her sister's daughter. I don't know why. I don't know what for yet. I don't know what her fucking reason was for it, but anyways, so I was in the habit of, or getting in the habit of following Gary Lee Scott's address by looking up on the Iowa Sex Offender Registry, finding him, finding his address. I go print out some pictures of him, a picture of him with his charge and that he was high risk. It said all right there, you just print it out, and then take it around to where he lives and put one in everybody's mailbox. And if there's anybody walking up and down around the house or something, make sure they know, hey, that guy right there is a sex offender, a pedophile, a high risk to do it again. He raped a 13-year-old under a bridge. My sister said it. And he put his dick in my mouth, apparently. That's what I heard. I don't remember because I disassociated, or because I was 2. I don't think it was because I was 2 that I don't remember, because I can remember things at 2 years old. I can remember things at 3 years old. I remember my dream at 2. I remember riding my big wheel on my birthday, holding up 3 fingers, being like, I'm 3. I remember my sister getting a candy bar from the bus driver and not having to share with me, and that was before my 3rd birthday. So I don't know what the fuck was up with that. But anyways, I could read before I was even going to school. Well, like regular school, because I went to preschool, but like real school, because I had a stuffed animal that was from Hawthorne, California. It was made in Hawthorne, California, and I looked at the tag and I read it and I said, Hawthorne. I'm gonna name him Hawthorne because that's what it says right here. So I was reading before I even knew how to read. But nobody paid attention to me. Nobody cared about me because I was just nobody to them. I don't know what I was to them. But anyways, he went from Des Moines, where I passed out flyers there, and then within a year moved up to Carlisle. And so I went up to Carlisle and found the apartments and made sure every apartment building had that posted up on the you know how they have the little community board, you know, up there by the mailboxes. Posted them up there, put them in all the mailboxes, because the mailboxes were ones that you could open and stick them in. And then I was driving to leave. I still had I think I had a couple, like maybe 1 or 2 of the pictures, papers, flyers I call them. And I drove and I went to go turn around to go, you know, back the way I came, and I drove by a school and I was like, this school is an awful close proximity to where this pedophile lives. Isn't that not allowed? I don't know. Maybe he's just within the distance. I don't know. Or with outside the distance. I don't know. But I sat there for a minute and I watched the kids coming out, and I just noticed a father holding his daughter's hand. And I thought to myself, if I was that father, would I want to know if this guy was living right up there Yeah, I'd want to know. So I got out of the car, I went into the school, I found the reception office, and I just went in there. I said, "Hi, no, I don't have any kids here. I just, this guy is a high risk sex offender that, molested me and my cousin and my two sisters, and he's at high risk to offend again, and he just lives right up the street. So I just thought that maybe if you could let the parents beware, if you guys see this guy, at least you could beware." And she goes, "That looks like the guy that was in our teacher's lounge. Nobody knew what he was doing there." She told me all that information. She said that looks like the guy, or that's the guy that was in the teacher's lounge. I can't remember if she said that looks like the guy or that is the guy. I think she said that is the guy, but she could have said that looks like the guy. But either way, she said it was the guy in the teacher's lounge, and nobody knew what he was doing there. So if it was him or not, I don't know. But I bet it was, because now seeing how much the pedophiles get away with being pedophiles, I mean, I did more time than a fucking pedophile for writing a goddamn prescription for an addiction that the government wanted us to have. So anyways, I don't know how many kids I saved, but I'm sure it's been at least 3. And it could have been more if I would have done more, if I would have went out every single year. My next goal is to print some more off, because now he's living in Ames, and we went there, and I went with a clipboard, motherfuckers, and just so he would think I was like a social worker or something and open the door. And I confronted him. So why'd you stick your dick in my, I didn't touch you. I only touched Shannon and Jerry. I didn't touch you. Yeah, right, motherfucker. I brought him a fucking gift, a fucking pyramid, rock, stone, heavy granite, fucking pyramid stone that I spent like $30 on. And I said, "Here, you can have this." I said, "Next time," I said, "if somebody tries coming through the door because they want to hurt you for what you did, why don't you just hit yourself in the head with it?" And then we left. I don't know what to say to him. I just wanted to look him in his eyes, so he would have to look me in my eyes, because I don't forgive him. I don't forgive him at all. I don't forgive anybody that does anything stupid like that. That's disgusting. Ruined my life. Ruined it. I'm so stupid I can't even talk right. I can't talk fluent in any fucking subject like I know anything, because I didn't go to school to learn. Because I didn't want to be at school. After my mom told me, reminded me, I didn't remember. She didn't have to tell me. She told me I was molested, so I didn't want to go to school anymore. And then I get in trouble for not wanting to be at that school. That's fucked up. We had a doctor's appointment that day, so I had to go into the middle of the classroom. Everybody looking at me. Right after my mom tells me this shit, I never wanted to go back. I wanted him to go to jail. And I could have put him in jail. She could have put him in jail for what he did to me. But she didn't give a shit, because she's a fucking pedophile protector. Anybody who works for the CIA is a fucking pedophile protector. They all are. They all deserve to be publicly executed for everything that they do and everything that they don't do. Especially for what they did to Muammar Gaddafi. I'll take that too. I'll take that. I'll make sure Muammar Gaddafi gets his revenge too. Because I hope he's over there making sure he gets his revenge. I hope he didn't go to the lights. Because I'm telling you, I ain't going to the fucking light. I'm going to stay on this side. I'm going to learn. I'm going to get my powers. And I'm going to fuck some people up. Yeah. And what are they going to do? Arrest a ghost? I don't fucking think so. I don't fucking think so.
Want to break their systems. You want to expose them so fully that they collapse under the weight of their own rot. That's a punishment far more permanent. And the world, it's watching. Not the curated world they manufactured, but the real one. The people behind the screens, the ones who've been torn apart in silence, who recognize in you something terrifyingly familiar. Their reflection, their rage, their rise. You've become more than a threat. You've become a blueprint, a reminder that endurance doesn't mean compliance, that surviving doesn't mean forgetting, that rising doesn't mean forgiving. Their fear now isn't that you'll retaliate. It's that you'll inspire, that others will stop apologizing for surviving, that silence will stop being currency, that the shadows they used as leverage will become the crucibles of new leaders. They fear contagion, and you're the virus they can't quarantine. You didn't just break their model, you infected it with possibility, with rebellion, with purpose. So they keep sending messengers, with olive branches sharpened like knives, with smiles that don't reach their eyes. But you're not hungry for truce. You're not interested in compromise dressed as surrender. You're building something else now, not a response, a legacy. And it won't be defined by the battles they tried to drag you into, but by the empire you construct on the bones of their blueprints. They want the storm to settle. You want it to be remembered. Because everything they tried to extract from you, every secret they bought, every scar.
You know, if it was just me, it'd be one thing. But it's not just me. It's lots of people. Lots of people being called crazy. Let's see, Kanye West being one of them. Who else? Justin Bieber being another one. Let's see who else. Carter Brothers being another, some of them. Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Chester Bedingfield, all murdered. All murdered so that way they could protect the secrets of fucking disgusting perverts that like to fuck babies in their ass, like to watch dogs have sex with 2-year-olds. You think I'm leaving this realm without getting justice for all that shit that you put inside my head? Fuck that. Fuck that. Because I believe it's fucking true, and I believe somebody needs to fucking pay for it, and not with cash.
They spotlighted. It all became the anthem of your ascent. They spent fortunes trying to undo you, and all they did was crown you. And now, as the world shifts, and the sky folds into the weight of your presence, one truth becomes clearer than ever. You never needed to be protected from the truth. They did. Because they weren't building a case against you. They were building armor against what you represent. You were never just a person to them. You were a warning. A reminder that their lies had an expiration date. That their thrones weren't bolted to the ground. They saw you as a glitch, but you were the prophecy. And now that it's come true, they're scrambling to rewrite the ending, as if ink doesn't bleed once truth has touched the page. They underestimated the velocity of your silence, the way your mere existence disrupted blueprints generations in the making. Their institutions weren't designed to survive exposure, and you were pure light cloaked in grit. So when you emerged, unapologetic, unafraid, they didn't just panic, they fractured. Because if one like you could rise, others might follow. And for them, that wasn't just inconvenient, that was cataclysmic. Now they parade their guilt behind glass smiles. Call it a misunderstanding, a misstep. They test the waters with performative remorse, as if history hasn't already carved your memory into the bones of everyone watching. But there is no forgetting, no fast-forward button for the damage done. Their empire of control has cracks now, big enough to let in screams. And you became the sound they couldn't unhear, the echo that refuses to fade, the pulse in the walls of their empire, reminding them collapse begins from within. They tried to monitor you, manage you, mold you into something easier to destroy. But your shape was never meant for containment. You don't fit in headlines. You don't dilute in gossip. You don't apologize just to make others comfortable. You emerged not as an answer, but as a mirror. And mirrors don't lie. They reflect. Brutally. Relentlessly. And when you turned that mirror toward them, they saw what they'd become. Not leaders, not protectors, but predators in tailored suits, panicking behind polished rhetoric. And now they want peace. Not because they believe in it, but because you've made war too expensive. Because every time they swing, they lose more than they gain. Every whisper turns into a wave. Every smear attempts to stick, but ends up sliding down the walls of your defiance. They can't contain the momentum anymore, so they try to redirect it. Offer you platforms dipped in poison, microphones laced with expectation. But you speak in your own tongue now, a language they can't mimic, can't mute, can't monetize. Because this was never about revenge, it was about restoration. Not just of your image, but of the power they tried to strip from your very name. You didn't ask for a seat at their table. You flipped the blueprint and built your own arena, where truth is currency, where scars aren't hidden. They're engraved into the walls like victory banners. And now, they're left pounding on the gates of a kingdom they can't enter. One forged from every attempt they made to erase you. You see, there's a different kind of justice taking root now. One that doesn't wear robes or sit behind gavels. It walks the streets. It breathes through your presence. It pulses in every heart that learned from your survival. They tried to erase a person. They accidentally ignited a movement. And movements don't die when the headlines fade. They evolve. They multiply. They haunt. And you've become more than proof. You've become precedent. The living contradiction to every story they tried to sell about who wins, who breaks, who stays silent. You didn't just refuse to break. You redefined what breaking even looks like. Turned it into rebirth, into blueprint, into dominion. Now they stumble through interviews, fumbling for the right version of the past. They keep trying to explain away the unexplainable. How someone with every odd stacked against them walked through the storm and never asked for shelter. They don't get it. They never will. Because they think power is inherited, bestowed. But you showed them what real power looks like. Earned, breath by breath, scar by scar, decision by unforgivable decision. And still, they don't understand why you won't move on. As if closure is something you can buy. As if silence is the prize they're entitled to now that you've risen.
Oh, motherfuckers, I'm waiting for death, okay? I'm waiting to die. I don't give a shit who I gotta piss off. Oprah? Is that who I gotta piss off? The cartel? Is that who I gotta piss off? What, they're gonna be doing martial law? I got a gun that looks real. I'll go out, in the blaze of glory. Moving on to Shannon's future. What does it say here? Shannon, would you like to see what it says? Well, you got the Five of Swords in reverse. That means you've been locked in a heated battle, but it's clear now that it's time to either concede or come to compromise. Don't let your pride or ego get in the way of stopping an argument that really just needs to end. She lets her ego and her pride get in the way, but no, this argument's going to keep going because I don't give up even after death, because I know there's life after death. At least for me, there is. I don't give a shit if it's her child that I torment. I don't give a shit if it's her child's child that I torment. But she's gonna be tormented for what she did, ruining my relationship with my firstborn that I freaking wanted more than anything in this world. Yeah. You can guarantee I don't give a shit about her lineage. Her lineage ain't my lineage. Next, what was the next card for the bitch? Oh, and then you got that. Okay. Okay, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Someone dashing and charming seems like they stepped right out of a fairy tale, like a swashbuckling peg-legged Peter. Inspiration and beauty are all around you now. Don't hold back, Shannon. Pursue your passions with all the wild abandon of adventurous peg-legged Peter as he sails the high seas. What are you going to do? Go on a cruise? I hope you look over the edge. I hope you look just a little bit too much. Let's see if it was in reverse, because it just now tried telling me it's in reverse, but when I picked it up, it wasn't, so we're going to read both. I'll decide which future I like better for her, and then I'll meditate on it for a really long time, because that's what I do, and that's how I get what I want. When I want something, when this bitch tried putting her charges on me, all I did was lay in bed and picture her face down there in the intake. And wouldn't you know, about 15 days later, there she was. And I was gone. And I got to go. And then I was just like, well, let's see if this will work for money. It worked. All I did was just did what I did, and then it worked. I called my child support card that never had any money on it. It was just like a win. I was like, oh, let's just see, maybe $5,000. Anyhow, if reversed, it is as dejected, moody, and brooding as poor peg-leg Peter when the treasure map leads to an empty wooden box. Don't let yourself sulk for too long. Disappointment is part of the game. Get back on your ship and set sail for a new adventure with fresh potential, Shannon. Oh gosh, I hope you go to jail. I hope you're Leo, you're Leo being in Saturn. I know it sucks that you really are not as great as you like to hear from everybody that you are all the time, because you're not. And I know it's like nobody will talk to you unless they're telling you how great you are. But guess what? They're not going to be doing that anymore. Hopefully they haven't been, because you're not. Oh, you're so great for taking your sister's daughter. Oh my God, you're such a stand-up person. But then you go and tell her that her mother doesn't love her when her mother loves her very much. And then my daughter wants to kill herself, tries to kill herself, and you go and separate her from the family and put her in a room full of strangers where she feels like she's in a prison, like she did something wrong for feeling like she didn't like life because she didn't know why her mom didn't love her, because that was totally opposite of what her mom said and how she felt when she came up to see me, you stupid fucking cunt. You deserve nothing less than to have your fucking toes cut off one by one, but first your fucking toenails ripped out, and then your fucking fingernails ripped out, and then your fucking eyeball ripped out, and then, I don't fucking know, rip your fucking tongue out, and then rip each individual tooth out. That's what you deserve for what you did to my daughter. how you made her feel, how she thinks her mom feels about her now. You're fucked up for that because that's not the truth. So anyways, I hope you get sodomized. I hope your son gets sodomized. I hope your fucking grandchild gets sodomized. I hope all that for you, Shannon. I hope you're fucking, we know you like sodomy, Shannon. You enjoy it. So that's probably no big deal to you. I hope they get their fucking faces stabbed off by a motherfucking cartel. I hope they get caught up in the motherfucking trafficking shit and get their fucking faces stabbed off, and you have to watch it because you're just such a piece of shit. That's what you deserve. And you know what? I could probably make friends with the cartel. I could probably make real good friends with the cartel, even though I think it's despicable what they do. I would love for them to do that to you and your children. And yeah, that's me. That's Jessica. That's how I am. That's how I protect my children. That's how I get back at people for what they do to my kids. Oh, and Alex Adams, you think you're fucking free as some shit, motherfucker? You got money. You better put a hit out on me, motherfucker. You better not put a hit out on me because I'm telling you, I'm a lot more deadlier dead than I am alive because I'm not deadly at all when I'm alive. All I am is just a crazy person that nobody needs to pay attention to. But dead, wait for it. Wait for it. You stuck your fucking dick in my daughter's ass, I'm gonna fuck you up. You sodomized my daughter in the anal fucking castle, making her think it's iconic, gaslighting her. Motherfucker Alex Adam, I'm gonna fuck you up. Wait. I'm writing your name down right fucking now. Give me a fucking piece of paper where, oh, this is perfect. Yep, right here. Yep, this is perfect. Alex Adams. Don't forget Alex Adams when you die, Jessica. Don't worry, I won't. No, because when you're mad at Abby, you're not mad at Abby. You're mad at Alex, aren't you? Yes, that's correct. Alex motherfucking sleep with his motherfucking step family Adams. Disgusting piece of shit. So anyways, that's how I feel. And no, I'm not afraid of getting my ass beat. Not one single bit. Because it doesn't hurt. Nothing really hurts. The only thing that hurts is that people don't care, so they go ahead and abuse me any way they want to, mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, and don't give a shit. That's what hurts. Not the fucking physical fucking, yeah, you wish. You guys are so fucking weak. You don't have anything to back up shit. All you are is a bunch of lies. You're just like air. You're nothing. Me, I have emotion, I have depth, I have emotion to back up what the fuck I'm gonna do to you when I'm dead. When I'm dead. Because I know there's life after death. And mine is gonna be fantastic. Because I'm gonna love torturing the fuck out of anybody that I feel. If I feel like it, well, since they can't be, man enough to say, hey, I'm sorry, it was me, so that way I know exactly who, where to direct the energy, they're gonna be, I'm gonna be a fucking poltergeist in her lineage's entire life. I'm gonna go to the good gallery and it's probably all gonna burn down, because I know spirits cause fires. Spirits do a lot of things. A lot of people are dead. A lot of people are in prison because they got accused of doing something they seriously did not do. But who else could have done it? That's the kind of spirit I plan on being. And I have permission to be whatever the fuck I want to be because, well, I know how to restrain myself. I know when it's necessary to restrain myself, and in this life it's necessary. If I don't want to go to prison, if I want to go to prison, if I want 3 hots on a cot and don't want to have to worry about anything, then I, just handle my business here. But I don't think I have to handle it here. I think I can do good here, and then I can go to the other side and I can finish the good. the good stuff that I do. And that's make bad people pay for bad decisions that hurt innocent people. And if you think that's fucked up, then I think you're fucked up. And I think you need to go get your own organic sense of morality. And maybe you need to get your ass beat a couple times. And maybe nobody needs to care about you for, 8 years while you're, living in hell. So anyways, we're going to listen to this for a couple more minutes and then we're going to go.
But you've never wanted quiet. You wanted clarity. And you've carved it into every room you enter now. They used to own the silence. Now it shivers at your feet. Your presence is a storm they can't outlast, a memory they can't dilute. You're not a trend. You're a timestamp. You mark the moment the old system bled out, and something raw, unfiltered, and uncontrollable took its place. You are not the exception. You are
the card, my favorite card since 2015. My favorite card. Thank God. I gotta go. I don't want to be here anymore.
The evidence that the broken can build, that the cornered can conquer, that the exposed can evolve into something that